there I was, back in the slag heap, deep in the garbage zone, smelling like a mutant's armpit after that thrilling escape with my undead tour guide. Morning had barely settled in, and I was sitting there, guitar in hand, trying to figure out what to play. To my left, the guy was staring intently at his detector like it held the meaning of life. He kept tapping it, muttering under his breath, probably broken. Or maybe he just refused to accept that it wasn't picking up anything. Classic zone optimism. Then, out of nowhere, I remembered using that echo detector in the boiler area. Lots of fire anomalies everywhere. That place was a damn maze, twisting and turning, every step feeling like a death trap. The detector beeped like crazy, but trying to pinpoint an artifact with it was like herding blind cats. I spent half the time moving in circles, convinced I was getting closer as the beeping grew faster. Then, there it was. The artifact popped up on my left, and just as I turned to grab it, poof, it disappeared. Then I caught fire and realized, like an idiot, I forgot to wear my suit. Then I woke up in the Sultansk, smelling like burnt regret and wondering what the hell just happened. Then I was doing a job for Sultan and entered this bunker. That's where I found it, a new detector, the Hilka. A next-generation upgrade, much better, and a solid replacement for the unreliable Echo. With its fancy new electronic components and a better antenna, it could actually detect artifacts at a greater range instead of just beeping at random bits of junk. At least that was the promise. I remembered the first time I used it, back in Rostock, near a crashed helicopter surrounded by electrical anomalies. The detector picked up something, a rare artifact. Or not. It took me a while to track it down, carefully circling the wreckage like a stalker in a documentary about bad life choices. Then, bam, it jumped right in front of me. I lunged, grabbed it, and for a glorious second, I felt like the king of the zone. Then, zap, electrocuted on the spot. Turns out, I hadn't forgotten to wear my suit this time. Nope, but I had forgotten to watch my step. Too much excitement fried me like a rookie on his first anomaly, out cold, like an absolute idiot. So back to the campfire with my guitar, trying to decide what to play. I looked to my right. One guy was completely lost in his tablet, probably playing Stalker, the game inside the actual zone, because reality just wasn't immersive enough for him. Every so often he'd grunt or mutter a curse, which I assumed meant he got ambushed by bandits. Or maybe his battery was dying. Honestly, the latter would be the real catastrophe. Then one time, I overheard some drunk guy in the bar rambling about a hidden stash, a weapon from the Shah. Supposedly, if you found it and brought it to him, he'd give you a big reward, or maybe even let you join his gang. Then I remembered I had found a PDA with the weapon's location. This could be my golden ticket into the group, or, knowing my luck, my ticket to another painful, humiliating knockout. So, off I went to find this hidden stash. Slowly, I treaded carefully beneath the road bridge, every step crunching against the dirt, my eyes scanning for any sudden movement. It was tucked under a road bridge, surrounded by a few corpses, not the most comforting sight. At the far corner, wedged into a damaged wall, I spotted a bag. Jackpot. Inside, the Shah's weapon. I barely had time to admire my prize when, bam, I was already on the ground before I could even react. A bloodsucker. Panicked, I screamed and went for my gun. The damn thing was already slicing into my back. Too late. Nope. I went down like a sack of potatoes. Next thing I knew, I woke up in the slag heap. Not again. Feeling like an idiot. Then I realized I still had the gun with me. No clue who dragged my sorry ass to the slag heap. But hey, at least they didn't loot me. Small victories. That's when I decided, screw it, time to pay a visit to the Brood. I was sick of this guy at camp constantly repeating how the Brood will tear us apart. If they were that terrifying, I had to see it for myself. As I stepped into their camp, a guy on the walkway above barked down at me. "You lost, Stalker? Turn around before you regret it." Yeah, standard tough guy welcome. I kept moving forward, determined. Either I was about to make some new friends or get my ass kicked. Again. As I approached the front door, some guy barked at me.
Where you going? This bar is for the Brood. No freaks or loners allowed. I've got a pass. This is your Kingpin's gun. Recognize it?
Holy shit! You got a death wish? Fine, come on in. Take the stairs to the second floor. The Shock's gonna want to talk to you personally.
After showing him the gun, he led me through. I stepped through the door, trying to look tough, like I belonged. The room was dim, filled with the usual mix of shitty characters and the smell of cheap booze.
Move along, chump. Leave me alone.
Fine, I'm not here for you anyway, I shot back. I've got an appointment with your boss. Slowly, I made my way up the stairs. Halfway up the stairs to the second floor, I heard a radio crackle from inside a room. It was the Shah, sounding really pissed. Yep, definitely the worst possible time to drop by. But hey, at least I'm consistent.
Who the fuck are you? Oh, so you brought my gun, eh? Well, who's the snitch, bitch? Who sold you my stash? Yokel? Bruce? Spit it out!
Then, right there, I started panicking. Heart pounding, brain short-circuiting, and before I could stop myself, I blurted out the dumbest answer possible. Instant regret.
I found it on my own.
Lucky bastard. If I were that lucky, I would have taken over the whole of garbage in 2 days. Except I don't believe in luck, so cut the crap! You think I'm stupid? Who sold you the stash?
Then it hit me. Maybe, just maybe, if I pinned it on one of these two guys, the Shah might reconsider. Maybe he wouldn't be mad. Maybe he'd even reward me. Or maybe I'd just dig myself an even deeper grave.
Dutsent handed your stash over to me.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted that asshole. Always walking around with that sourpuss on him. Fucking rat! I'll make him shit blood for the rest of his miserable life! Hold on. Why'd you give him up so easy? Trying to turn me against my own men, are you? No dice! Docent is a dickhead, but the rest are willing to die for me. I'm in charge here. I'm the Shah, damn it! So why'd you come here? You want money?
Then I realized I was going to die here. So much for playing the tough guy and waltzing into the brute's den like I belonged. Well, no backing out now. Time to fight my way out, like the absolute idiot I am.
I want some coupons in exchange for your gun.
That's one hell of a business plan. You ought to join the scammers in Rostock. You really think I'm gonna pay you for my own gun, shitbird? Do you have any idea who you're fucking with? Die!
Then, all hell breaks loose. Gunfire, chaos, me screaming like a dying goat. I dive behind a car as they pound me angrily. I try to retaliate, then whack. I got hit. Everything fades to black. I was back in the slag heap, stitched up like a second-hand ragdoll, probably in worse shape than an Argonian trying to flirt an old Nord.
What do we do?
Well, so much for joining the Shah's gang. Turns out, I wasn't exactly cut out for the whole organized crime thing. Guess that means one thing. Loner for life. As the echo-holding detector guy turned to playing the guitar, actually pretty well, I might add, I sat there, reminded of how much I sucked at it. My mind drifted elsewhere. I remember when I was in Malachite, there was this guitarist, name long forgotten, but damn, he could play. I was both amazed and anxious, watching him strum away like he was born with that guitar. Why anxious? Well, because a floating orb was drifting past him. Was this guy a legend or just insane? Either way, the moment his music caught the orb's attention, that acoustic guitar turned electric. Literally. Then night has already settled in, and I'm still by the campfire, strumming my guitar aimlessly like a guy who knows 3 chords but plays them with confidence. A couple of different stalkers now sit with me, swapping war stories like grizzled veterans. Then I remembered overhearing some stalkers talking about a top-tier artifact detector. The catch? You had to cross the Red Forest, home to more anomalies, mutants, and radiation than a nuclear-themed horror show. Just stick to the road, they said. Oh yeah, great advice. That's like saying just walk through a minefield, but, you know, carefully. So there I was, cautiously making my way through, when out of nowhere, a Psy Dog shows up. Perfect. a mutant mutt that can photocopy itself like a damn office printer. Suddenly, I'm being chased by a pack of illusionary canines, all equally annoying, all equally bitey. My grand strategy? Panic. Then I spotted a shard anomaly nearby, basically a floating blender of death. Genius that I am, I ran straight into it, thinking it'd keep the dogs at bay. It did, and also nearly turned me into a science experiment. Now I was stuck, the dogs weren't leaving, and I was contemplating my life choices when, out of nowhere, a group of stalkers came by. They saw the Psydog, took it down, and freed me from my sparkling doom. I, being the hero that I am, totally meant to jump in and help, right after I stopped hyperventilating. Finally, I dragged myself into Yaniv Station, tired, beaten, and feeling thoroughly soiled. I don't even know what half the grime on me was, and honestly, I didn't want to find out. First thought, I need a shower before the dirt gains sentience and walks away on its own. But priorities. I found Hawaiian.
Aloha! I got all the shit you're gonna need.
Got my hands on that fancy bear detector, and then, well, let's just say exhaustion hit me like a freight train. At that point, I didn't care what was under my pants, what was stuck to my boots, or if I smelled like a mutant's armpit. I just stumbled my way to the nearest bed and collapsed so hard, I'm pretty sure I astral projected. Then morning came, and I found myself hanging around the bar, sipping on something that probably had more radiation than actual alcohol. That's when I overheard some stalkers talking about the real top-tier gear. If you wanted the best protection, an exoskeleton was the way to go. The problem? They were mostly found in Pripyat, a charming little place that just so happened to be the deadliest hellhole in the entire zone. Naturally, my immediate thought was, I need one of those. The problem was, the path was sealed off, and the only way in was through a chemically filled train cart, because of course it was. To get across, you had to jump from a platform onto the top of a chemical tank on the west side of Yanov Station. Easy, right? Except for one tiny detail. The place was haunted by a poltergeist soaked in glowing green chemicals. No one dared to go near it, which, of course, just made me want to try. Upon arriving at the chemical-spilled train cart, I spotted the poltergeist and opened fire. Bullets landed, but so did a flying tire, right to my face. Next thing I knew, I was out cold. Damn telekinesis. I woke up back at Yaniv Station. No clue how I got there. One thing was clear, Pripyat was not on my travel itinerary today. Realizing I was too much of an idiot to trust myself, I decided to hire a guide. But first, back to Slag Heap to hunt for artifacts, because apparently getting smacked unconscious by a flying tire wasn't unlucky enough for one day.
Just tell me where you want to go.
Back at the campfire a few nights later, I decided to stay in the garbage zone for now. After that whole Pripyat disaster, I was starting to wonder if I was really cut out to be a stalker, or just the zone's favorite chew toy. And just like that, the sky started dribbling on me like an old Nord with bad aim at the privy. Well, time to scurry to the bar like a drenched skeever and secure a warm spot before I either catch a cold, or, divines forbid, inherit someone else's unpaid tab. Tomorrow, I set off on the noble quest of artifact hunting, assuming I don't accidentally sell my boots for meat or wake up in a haystack with a goat and more questions than answers.
The commissary are gonna...
So the next day I strutted out of the slag heap, eager to put my brand new state-of-the-art artifact detector, patent pending, to good use. It was already on, beeping and booping like it had just discovered the meaning of life, until the sky decided to throw a nuclear-grade tantrum. Within seconds, the clouds turned an ominous shade of "you're screwed," and my radio crackled to life. "Hey, idiot, an emission is coming."
Get out of here! There's an emission coming!
As I sprinted to the slag heap bar like my life depended on it, because it did, I glanced back and saw every other stalker also booking it for cover. It was like a race, except the prize was not getting vaporized. Nothing builds camaraderie like collectively running for your lives. Then, boom, a lightning bolt crashed down just a few feet ahead, barely missing a group of stalkers who were speedrunning survival. Realizing the zone was playing target practice, I decided to quit sightseeing and finally run inside, only to discover, like an absolute genius, that they had locked the door behind them. So there I was, standing outside and in a mission, banging on the door like a desperate delivery guy, while the stalkers inside probably debated whether I was worth the extra floor space.
No! No!
And so I woke up, like a complete idiot, furious and confused, wondering who the hell locked the door while I was busy getting marinated in radiation outside. Luckily, someone had the decency to pull me in before my brain got deep fried. Whoever it was, well, I'll never know. But if I ever find out, I owe them a drink, or maybe just half a drink for letting me suffer first. Someone out there clearly enjoys bullying noob stalkers, but next time, oh, I'll prove them wrong. No more rookie treatment for me. I'll be the one locking them out. As I sat by the campfire, staring into the flickering flames, a thought hit me. Maybe tomorrow, I'd head for the cement factory. I'd had enough of this place. Maybe luck was waiting for me there.